My 24F boyfriend, 28M, told me to get a paternity test when I told him I was pregnant. I've been in a relationship with Nico for 3 years now, and we were discussing plans to move in together later this year and becoming engaged by next year. We were always very open and communicative when it came to our relationship and never had any big problems besides the petty argument here and there. I found out I was pregnant about a week ago and was super scared because my career is just taking off now and I'm not emotionally or financially ready to have a baby. I told Nico the day after I found out, since I was meeting him in person. I never thought he would be ecstatic or anything about the pregnancy, however he just looked at me and asked me to get a paternity test. I was shocked and hurt that he would suggest I was sleeping with anyone else. It grew into a huge fight where I asked him why he didn't trust me to even ask me that. He said he did trust me and didn't think I was a cheater, but he was not ready for a kid, and if there's a chance that it's not his kid, he wanted to be sure because he was not taking care of it if it's not his. This logic doesn't make any sense to me though, because if he trusted me, then why is there any doubt that the kid isn't his? I went to him to see what we can do together and get over it together, but instead I feel like I was just slapped. I'm not even sure if I want to be with him anymore due to this. 3 years together and this is what he thinks of me. Also, throughout the week I've been having second thoughts on aborting the baby as well. I'm so scared I'll regret it later and miss my baby, but Nico keeps insisting on the test first before conversations about it, since he's not sure if it's his yet. Paternity tests aren't that cheap. I'd say make him buy it if he's so worried it's not his. Hi, I'm just here to say that when I got an abortion I knew immediately that I didn't want to carry the pregnancy to term and had absolutely no regrets with getting an abortion. When you don't want to be pregnant, you won't suddenly regret it when you get an abortion. That's just what pro-birthers want you to think, so you doubt yourself. If that's what you want, you'll only feel immense relief. I just want to add, it may not be so straightforward for you, either. I am vehemently pro-choice, but my own termination was not easy on me despite my having no doubt whatsoever what I wanted to do. I felt both relief and guilt. If you also find that your feelings are far more complex than you thought they would be, know that you aren't alone, and also know that doesn't mean that you made the wrong decision. Sometimes the best choice is a painful one. Heart. These are two different topics. 1. Do you want to keep the baby? That's your decision. 2. Do you want Nico to be part of your life? The fact that he would immediately question paternity makes me think he's looking to bolt. Do you want that uncertainty and unreliability in your life? One thing you should consider is if waiting for the paternity test will make it too late to get an abortion. Or only 24. You don't feel ready for a kid, the father is being aggressively awful about not wanting the kid. It seems like keeping the baby would give a lot more cause for regret than waiting for a better situation to have a wanted baby. Think long and hard about it before you make the choice. You've already confirmed neither of you are ready for the baby. Can tell you from personal experience, as I was a single mom at 23, it is incredibly difficult and your career very well may need to take a backseat if you're unable to afford childcare. It is outrageously expensive, and don't have help from him, family etc. Not to mention, confirming the paternity and putting him on the birth certificate will legally bind you for the next 2 decades to someone who tried to get out of raising this baby immediately. Odds are he's not intending on doing his best to provide and be a family. I'd never regret having my little one, because being a parent is an indescribable gift, but I'd never wish single motherhood on anyone. It's emotionally, physically, socially and financially draining. I am very worried about my wife's behavior. I think she doesn't love me anymore and is cheating on me. I, 27M, am married with my wife, 26F, for 2 years, dating for 6 years, and we have a baby of 7 months. I work at home due to the virus since some months, and my wife started working 2 months ago, changing her completely. She works in a real estate agency and spends all the week out. She works Monday to Friday, 8 hours every day, and when weekends come she takes the baby to her parents' home and spends the whole afternoon there. So she leaves me alone and she says, "You must rest, my love." Nothing else. I do the chores when I have free time and I take care of the baby. When my wife comes home from work, She breastfeeds the baby and goes to bed. We have a TV in our room, so she lies on the bed and watches Netflix or random programs. So her life is work, baby and TV. Try to lie with her, but she just watches TV and doesn't even look at me or hug me when we're together. Our friends suspect she must be cheating, but some say it might be postpartum depression. I tried to talk to her about this and she says all is okay. But nothing is okay when one of her co-workers said she saw her having breakfast with a man who wasn't me. I don't know what to do. I don't want to approach the topic about that mysterious guy, because maybe I can sound jealous and it's just one of her friends. What I should do? This is stressing me. Update edit. I talked with my wife just when she came from work. I was cooking dinner when she came. She had a meeting with an old woman who's her client, and came late. I sat with her in the table and I approached the topic of her behavior. She seemed to take it good and explained that her parents are going to move to another city and that her father went to talk to her on her job place in the morning. The same day her co-worker saw her having breakfast with a man, and she feels sad. I didn't expect that. And she opened up more to me. She said she feels so unattractive since she had our baby and she can't make time to exercise. I feel kinda stupid now because I thought she was cheating by a misunderstanding, when in reality she's having a bad emotional streak. Thanks for the silver smiley face. You have a 7-month-old baby? I really doubt she's cheating. And what is her co-worker doing gossiping to you about who she eats breakfast with? Co-worker sounds more sus than your wife, TBH. If it's really bothering you, just ask her in casual conversation. Say so and so at the office saw her having breakfast with someone, and was it, insert mutual friend's name here? And she'll probably say no, it was, whoever it was. Mystery solved. Going to bed often and early is a sign of depression. Please help her get a doctor's appointment. Often those with depression don't know how to express how they are feeling. First off, unless your wife's co-worker is a trusted friend, I'd take what they told you with a grain of salt. Like you said, that could have been a friend she was eating with. She is in real estate, maybe she was eating with a prospective client. That said, my first thought as I was reading was postpartum depression, especially if she is just doing what you described. Work, baby, TV, sleep, with the trips to her parents on the weekend. If she were magically working late a lot, especially Fridays, she was constantly having to go in early or on weekends, or she was going out to do things other than going to her parents, then I'd lean more towards thinking she was having an affair. With any kind of depression, it's not easy working through those things if the one dealing with it can't see it or refuses to admit it is there. Have you tried asking what her parents think? Maybe she has opened up to her mom. Also, maybe get them to watch the kiddo for the weekend so you and your wife can have some alone time. Whether you set up a nice staycation at the house or get a night or two at a bed and breakfast in a nearby town you'll have been meaning to visit, try to arrange time with just the two of y'all doing things she or both of you enjoy doing together. Maybe catch a concert or show. Work on getting that spark back, because it sounds like that's going out as well. Hormones and postpartum depression can take on many forms and look many different ways. After my first child was born, I hated my husband. I didn't realize it while in it, but a year after the baby was born I came out of this fog and realized how terrible I was to him. I made a point to take proactive action during and after subsequent pregnancies to not treat him that way again. Have a thorough, deep conversation about it all. She honestly may not even realize that what she's doing is affecting you this way. She could be so caught up in balancing this new life that there just isn't time for you and her. Her hormones can be causing that too, making her not desire that. To me it doesn't sound like she's cheating. It sounds like she's trying to balance new baby, new job / going back to work, self-care, and you're getting pushed to the back burner because she knows your relationship is solid, that is was before the baby came. Talk to her in a way that shows your feelings, but coming from a how can we fix this together, not you need to be there more for me, because then it's just another thing she feels like she's not managing well, even if it is, and puts more pressure on her to balance yet another thing that she thought was stable and safe. Open, honest communication is key. It's hard to say. On the surface sounds like she's adjusting to life with a new job, a new baby, and a marriage, and is just not doing a great job finding balance. I'd address to her how you feel about the situation. If she's compassionate and understanding of your point of view and makes a concerted effort to do better, that's awesome. If she dismisses your feelings or blows you off, maybe she is cheating. My 27M wife, 30F, threw away letters from exes without telling me. I have a small safe that I keep important documents and such, taxes, birth certificate, a USB with a flash game I made, etc. But also in that safe are keepsakes, things like concert tickets and letters from colleagues. This included letters from ex-girlfriends. None of them were sultry or raunchy. They were things like someone wishing me a great time in college and saying how they'll miss me. They were innocuous, but they were important to me. Things every now and then, when I opened it up to add a new tax return or something, it was nice to kinda look through the memories, see where I was and how I've grown. Today I opened up the trash and saw an envelope with my name on it, empty and crumpled. I wasn't sure where it came from and, after searching, finally realized that my wife had gone through these things and thrown them away without telling me. She then added letters of her own, things that I kept around the house, or displayed on dressers already. I feel like it's a gross breach of trust, but maybe I was in the wrong to keep these things. I just feel violated and could use advice. Too long didn't read. My wife threw out keepsakes from old friends and exes and replaced them without my knowledge. Edit: a lot of people seem to be taking the word safe a bit too literally. It's one of those fake books that you can unlock that I keep as a keepsake box. The key is literally sitting next to the box. It's mostly concert tickets and letters in there. I also really only keep my personal important documents in there, so it's not something she has to open up constantly. I'm actually really surprised at the amount of people commenting that it's not weird you had those things and your wife is in the wrong. I mean, as a wife I probably would have confronted you first and told you to throw them away instead of doing it behind your back, but not because I don't trust you, because it feels like it's violating towards our relationship. It is weird you have those letters, even if they're not raunchy. You're either past those relationships, or you're not. I don't see those the same way you do, I suppose. I feel like a person can be past the relationship, while still appreciating and cherishing the memory of it. It in no way lessens my current love for my wife. If my wife and I split up for any reason, I would hope she would take a piece of me with her, as I would want to do with her. I have no idea if my BF has any former lover keepsakes, as I don't root around in his things. His office is a flat mess anyway. But if he did, what matters to me is that he puts my letters and cards in a special drawer that he is very proud of, and my first little love note to him from when we were first getting serious is prominently displayed on the fridge. Do you have simple keepsakes like that around the house to remind her that she is the one who you love? I have her letters and notes around the house and a bunch of them on the dresser next to my bed on display. I love them. I feel like it's a gross breach of trust, but maybe I was in the wrong to keep these things. No, you were not wrong. Yes, this was a gross breach of trust. You have a right to keep things you've been given. I'm going to take an unpopular opinion here. Although I think your wife should have spoken to you about it and not just thrown them away, I find it somewhat weird that you would keep something of that nature from an ex. It's not like she's a casual girlfriend on the rebound from your ex. She's your wife and you vowed to commit to her. It seems weird, and if I were your wife, I'd take it as a red flag, that you're hanging on to the past with your ex and getting so much comfort from it.